Welcome to my at-home yoga space. My name is Tessa, and this practice today will be a pretty chill, relaxing, a little bit of a stretch, but mostly just finding the breath, opening up space in the body in a small and subtle way, letting the nervous system relax, and practicing presence with yourself in your space. So I invite you to make space for yourself in your home. Make a space that has room for you. It can be a little bit comfortable. You see I put my yoga blanket down. And of course, if you don't have a yoga mat, then just kind of make it work for you. It doesn't have to be perfect. But we are going to start with a pillow. If you don't have a yoga bolster, you can just use your pillow off of your bed. I would recommend using your bigger pillow, one that's a little bit more firm if you have it, but if you don't, no problem. And you can do this practice at any time of the day. You can do it to wake up in a gentle way. You can do it in a warm, sunny afternoon, as I am. I've had a busy morning, and just a good way to resettle back in the middle of the day. Or you can do it before you go to bed. So it's up to you. But you can pause the video, take time to set up your space, and when you come back, we'll find your way all the way on the pillow straight down your spine. I like to have my legs crossed here, but if that doesn't feel good, you can have your legs straight out. You can have your legs bent with the feet down and the bottom of the knees together. We'll let your arms rest by your side. And if you need, like I do here, a few rounds of deep breath. In through the nose and out of the mouth. Letting go of any heat or tension from the day or from the night. Just breathe. Feel the connection of your back into the pillow. In the very lowest part of your back, all the way down to the upper part of your butt cheeks, rested into the ground. Encourage your shoulders to relax down and back. Notice any tension in the face, the eyes, the cheeks, or the jaw. And just let it melt. Let the face relax. The eyebrows, the forehead. If it feels okay in the breath, to begin to deepen the breath in and out of the nose now. As you breathe in, filling through the front body, the lungs, the chest expand gently. And as you exhale, observe the softening of the front body, chest, ribs, belly. Continuing this breath at your own pace. We'll take one more exhale completely out of the nose. And we'll start to bring our legs into a reclined butterfly with the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. If you feel this as pain in your hip joints in any way, you can pause the video and have two more pillows to rest underneath your knees or under your thighs. You can always use your yoga blocks if you have those. And once you find your way into the reclined butterfly that works for you, interlace the fingers. Let the shoulder blades roll down the back or slide down the back to create space for the neck. And then reach your arms back like a full morning light stretch through the upper body. Perhaps a few rounds of deep breath are calling to you here. as if the ribs are sliding up gently, creating space for the lungs, the underarm, and even the side body. Just allowing the space for the breath to move here. And let your last exhale release the arms out to a T beside you. Now feeling a gentle opening between the collarbones in your chest. Just breathe. Bringing the knees to center. Rolling over to either side to remove your weight off of your pillow. You can place that to the side and then bring your weight all the way back onto your back. We'll heel toe the feet about mat distance apart and then let the knees fall over to the left for a windshield wiper. We want to make sure the feet stay relatively wide here. And we're not getting into much of a spinal twist, but more of a front right hip opener. You might even feel this down into the front of your right leg and the quadricep. If those are a little tight, the right quadricep is a little tight. But encourage your right shoulder to roll down and back, relaxing into the shoulders. And if it feels okay on your right shoulder, reach the right arm back, lengthening from the right fingertips down the right arm, right underarm, ribs, side body, right hip, and down the front line of the right leg. You can keep this active stretch if that feels really good for you, or you can rest the right arm down and back over the head or beside your head. Relaxing into the right arm. If you'd like to deepen the stretch through the opening of your right hip, you can bring your left heel on top of your right thigh to put a little bit of weight on that opening. Just making sure you don't feel any pinching or pain in your low back as you open the front of the hip. A little compression into the low back is okay. Releasing the left heel, bringing the knees back up to center. Take a moment at the middle to readjust the hips and the low back straight. And when you're ready, we'll take the same thing with the knees over to the right. Reaching the left arm now, back behind you, an active reach. Remember, adjusting the left shoulder blade down and back can help keep space in the neck and allow you this opening under the left arm, left ribs, left side body. You can keep this active reach, or you can let the left arm rest down beside you or by your ear. To deepen the opening in the left hip, you can bring your right heel on top of the left thigh. Encourage a softening through the body here. Allow the breath to move freely. Observe any little areas you may be holding on to, specifically in the shoulders. Releasing the right heel if you took that variation and bringing the knees back to center. Adjusting the hips and the back straight and letting the arms rest down. And we'll bring your way up into all fours. However you'd like to get there, you can squeeze your knees in like a tight little ball and roll forward and back on the spine a couple of times if that feels good to you. Or you can roll over to either side and press up from there. Making your way into all fours. And once in all fours, have your hands, your wrists right under your shoulders, the knees right under your hips, and press into the top of your feet. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here, inhaling as you open the chest, lengthen through the torso and the throat. Exhale as you round the back, round the spine. And continuing at your own pace. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to round. One more. Inhaling back to neutral, bring the knees now a little bit further apart, about that distance apart from one another. Your left hand right under your face and reach the right arm up to the sky. If that doesn't feel great on the shoulder, you can have your right hand to your low back. Getting into your first spinal twist of your practice today, finding a deep breath here. And then when you're ready, slide the right arm under the left, coming into what's called thread the needle. Keeping your hips high above the knees. And use your press of your left hand to give yourself a little bit more of an opening into the back right shoulder. And keeping your right hip tucked back into alignment with the left. Find a relaxation through the head and the neck. Pressing into your left hand to rise, and take your time as you inhale, reach the right arm back up to the sky. Exhale, right hand comes down, and we'll go right into the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches up. If you need a couple more rounds of breath in your twist here in the spine, then take that. When you're ready, thread the left arm under the right onto the back side of the left shoulder, opening up behind the left shoulder now. Encouraging the left hip to stay tucked back into alignment with the right will help you open up the left side body, left shoulder. Let the head relax. Steady the breath. Soften into it. Pressing into the right hand to come up. And reach the left arm back to the sky. And back to tabletop. You can keep your knees mat distance apart or bring them together, whatever feels best for you, to send the hips back into your child's pose. We'll have this be an extended child's pose with the arms reaching to the top of the mat, and let your forehead relax down onto the ground. A great option here if you need extra support or if you're just feeling really gentle today with yourself is to have your pillow underneath your front body. You can have either cheek to the pillow or either side of the face down. We'll find the breath now into the expansion of the back, especially if your back or upper back is a little tight here. Explore the space of the breath into the upper back, the back side of the lungs. And follow the softening of your exhale. If you chose to be on either cheek, how I am here, then switch over to the other side. We'll press back up into all fours. Remove your pillow and come all the way onto your front body into what we call yogi rest, with the elbows out, hands together, and the forehead to the hands. Take a moment here to sway the hips from side to side. Bend the knees and windshield wiper the heels very gently from side to side, loosening up the low back. A little massage on the hips or the lower abdomen. We'll start to let your front body relax. Let your belly relax completely here. We'll bring the heels back center and rest the feet down. Open your arms out to cactus and bring the right side of your face to the ground. Let the shoulders drape down, taking any control out of your shoulders. And take a deep breath into the back. Exhale out of the mouth. Slide your left knee up by your left hip for what we call a restorative frog. Just a gentle decompression around the left hip and the low back. From here, reach your right arm now straight behind you. And use the press of your left hand to start rolling onto your right side body to open up your inner right shoulder, open up the chest on the right side. You have variations in your legs you can take here. Both legs can stay down and rested and bent, or they can be straight with the left hip stacked right up over the right. Or you can bring your left foot behind your right knee. All of these are optional to help put a little bit more of an opening on your inner right shoulder. Make sure you feel space in the neck. If you need to readjust the shoulder and rest the right side of the face back to the ground. Next option would be to bring your left hand around to your low back, taking this into a bind. And last option would be to take hold of your left foot, the outside of your left foot, and offer a left quad stretch into this as well. Allow your left shoulder to melt down. Make sure you're able to breathe. Soft breath in and out. Releasing the left foot if you took that variation. And we'll all take your time as you bring your way back onto your front body. And rest at center for a moment in your yogi rest. Recenter yourself onto your little space. Make sure you have enough room to open your arms back to cactus and bring now your left cheek to the ground and slide your right knee up by your right hip for restorative frog on the right. Let your shoulders melt down, relaxing, taking any control out of your shoulders and your neck and your face. Let the belly completely relax into the ground. We'll reach the left arm now straight behind you, rolling onto your left side to open up the inner left shoulder. You may like to bring your right toes behind your left knee. You may like the legs to be stacked or bent. Remembering your variations from the other side, you may like to bring your right hand behind your back. Just make sure whichever variation you choose, that the body is allowed to soften and rest into the form. There's not any force here. And then if you'd like, you took the quadricep stretch on the other side. You can find that here. Taking hold of your right foot, allow the right shoulder to roll back. Releasing the foot if you took that variation. And we'll all soften your way back to center. Into your yogi rest, forehead to hands. You can shake it out a little bit here if you need to. Shimmy the hips around. Bend the knees. Windshield wiper the heels. Coming up onto the hands and pressing back up into all fours. Once in all fours, step your right foot between the hands into your low lizard lunge. Sending the right knee forward, to allow the hips to shift a little bit forward and down, opening up the front line of the left hip. We'll bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot. And let your right foot roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Keeping the ankle straight, make sure you don't find a bend into the ankle. And allowing you to open up into the right hip, and into the front line of the left hip just a little bit more. You can stay on the hands, or you can come onto the elbows here. Make sure the breath is able to move smoothly, freely. If we have constriction in the breath, then we have constriction in the body. And if that's the case, then you can just back out of it a little bit. We'll bring the knee back center. Right hand on the outside of the right foot. And send the hips back into your low half split. Flexing your right toes back to your face to deepen this opening behind the right leg. Let the belly send down toward the leg, straight spine, letting the heart melt toward the foot. We'll lift it up, rolling onto your right foot. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, plant the hands, and step back into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can pedal out the knees a little bit here if you need to. And then lower the knees. Step your left foot between the hands and find your low lizard lunge on this side. Sending the left knee to the left knee forward. Left hand on the inside of the left foot and rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot. Opening the left knee. Opening the left hip. The same option here. If you'd like to come down onto the elbows, you can. Pressing back up onto the hands, rolling back onto the left foot, left hand on the outer side of the left foot, and send the hips back, straightening into the left leg for your low half split here. Flexing the left toes back to your face. Just breathe. Rolling back onto the left foot. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, step back into your plank, exhale, downward facing dog. Lower the knees, and we'll come into your seated butterfly. Knees out, bottoms of the feet together. Let the hands come around the ankles, roll the shoulders back, straighten the spine, inhale. And exhale to fold forward. This is optional if you like to remain upright, or even if you prefer your reclined butterfly that we did earlier, then you can choose to do that variation. Finding your breath once again into the back, the expansion of the back side of the lungs, the back ribs, the back muscles. Provide space with your inhale and a softening as you exhale. Allow the chin to tuck in and relax the head. We'll take one more full breath here into the back. Exhale completely. Engage around your core a little bit to start to walk the spine up straight. We want to come into a supported bridge using your pillow. So there's two ways you can come into this. You can first place the pillow right behind you and then sit up onto it a little bit and then roll down. Or you can come all the way onto your back first. Press up into a full bridge and then slide the pillow underneath your low back. Really, whichever way works best for you. Allow the low back to rest into the pillows. We call this a supported bridge. Interlace your hands and rest them up over your head. Let the shoulders roll down the back to offer a chest opening here. If this is too much opening in the chest, then let your arms rest out to a T beside you. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the front body. Exhale out of the mouth. We'll come into now a supported shoulder stand, lifting the knees up over the hips and then sending the feet to the sky. It might help to pause the video and stack 2 pillows underneath your low back to get a little bit more of a lift, but that's totally optional. You just want to make sure that you're not using a lot of muscles in your legs to support the lift of the legs. They're just soft, just kind of hanging out. Let the blood flow back down the legs, in and around the heart space to help relax and soothe the nervous system. It's really important right now. We'll bring the feet down and walk your legs out to the front of the mat. So we have this little bit of assistance with the pillow to help open up the front line of the hips. We'll take a full morning leg stretch here, reaching through the toes all the way up the legs. Press the back of the shoulders, right, the top part of the shoulders into the mat. Inhale through an open throat and reach out through the fingertips. Exhale, let it all soften. Let it go. Walk one foot in, followed by the other. Press into the feet to lift the hips into a full bridge and slide the pillow out from under you. We'll start to prepare for your final Shavasana, your final resting pose, letting the legs rest out straight. Maybe you'd like to have the pillow under your head. Taking this as relaxing and cozy as possible for you. Let the shoulders rest down the back, the arms out by your sides, soft and relaxed. Take any more full rounds of breath here to help you relax. Softening with your exhale into the ground, into the moment. This time is for you. We find a full awakened relaxation here. Let the hands soften through the fingertips, the back of the hand, up the arms, the shoulders, the back of the head, the face, the cheeks and the jaw at ease. Scan this sense of relaxation down the entire body to your feet. And follow the natural rhythm of your breath, settling, softening, into a much needed restorative rest. feel free to pause the video if you need a longer Shavasana today. Otherwise, we'll start to bring a little movement to your fingers and toes, deepening the breath little by little, awakening slowly. You can take a full morning-like stretch here if you'd like. We'll walk the knees in, rolling over to your right or left side. Pressing your way up gently into a comfortable seat or any seat that works for you. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart if you would like. Thanking yourself for showing up for just a little bit of relaxation, finding the breath, finding presence with yourself. I thank you so much for tuning in today, and until next time, namaste.